While New York collapses under higher taxes and radical left policies, Scott Singer proved that America First leadership delivers.
Welcome back to Wake Up America. There you see Boca Raton, Florida Mayor Scott Singer coming out swinging in his launch campaign video in his new run for Congress. And of course, while President Trump and a strong economy will help his campaign, so will New York City and its new soon-to-be socialist mayor, Zohran Mamdani. Joining us now is Florida congressional candidate and mayor of Boca Raton, Florida, Scott Singer. Good morning, Mr. Mayor. So, look, it's a crowded primary on the Republican side, and if you win, you would square off against incumbent Democrat Congressman Jared Moskowitz in Florida's 23rd congressional district. Florida leans red, but there are blue sections of it. What do you think is going to be the biggest deciding factor in who wins this seat?
Well, thanks for having me. I think there's going to be a lot of factors. Obviously, it's people turning out to vote. That is the number one factor. But the reasons people are going to vote is because we're going to be seeing gains from the President Trump economy next year. The tax cut that he and the Congress enacted is the most substantial and sweeping tax cut that's revitalizing our economy and going to have big impacts on the middle class. No taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime. The Republicans are becoming the party of the middle class. And when you couple those gains with what we're seeing in national defense and a secure border, that's making life better. We're getting past the 4 years of high inflation, higher crime, and national security weaknesses under Biden. And people are going to be understanding that. That's why I think we're going to have a strong 2026.
Yeah, I do want to get into your launch video now, targeting Zohran Mamdani and his socialist policies. Of course, we're stuck up here in New York City, where he will take office 1 week from today. A lot of New Yorkers are moving down your neck of the woods. And so what kind of alternatives, I mean, obviously, is Florida, is Boca offering to the people who can afford to leave a now soon-to-be New York City under a socialist?
Well, we've been attracting successful companies and job creators for decades. We had more move down after COVID. We've got some great corporate headquarters in Boca Raton, nearly 40 publicly traded companies, including Newsmax, which we're proud to have. But people have been coming here because we've got no state income tax, the lowest property tax rate of any full-service city, great quality of life, great services. And I think it's telling because the ideas that Mamdani and his colleagues in the socialist wing of the Democratic Party keep enacting and keep putting forward speak volumes about how they value job creators and that they think that they can continue to raise taxes and people won't vote with their feet. It's also telling that next week for his ceremonial swearing in, Mamdani didn't choose a New Yorker. He chose his socialist godfather, Bernie Sanders. And more the Democratic Party is becoming co-opted by this left wing of the party. It's not our parents' Democratic Party. And I think voters here are understanding that. That's why more people are looking into independence, too, for common sense solutions, which I hope to continue to offer.
Yeah, it should be noted that Senator Bernie Sanders took his honeymoon in the Soviet Union when it was still the Soviet Union. All right, real quick, I got about 30 seconds or so, Mayor. There's been a lot of discussion and calls for Florida to join the crowd, redistrict before next year's midterms. I know Governor Ron DeSantis suggested he might call a special session next spring to redraw the maps, maybe add 3 to 5 Republican seats. Would that be one of the seats that you're running for that would be redrawn, make it a little more Republican?
It's quite possible, but I'm focused on serving. I love public service. I'm focused on what I can do to bring common sense solutions to Congress, regardless of where the boundaries of the district are. I'm looking to serve the community I've lived in and grown up in and served for now nearly 12 years. So whatever redistricting happens, we'll see. More importantly, we have to focus on what we need to do to continue the gains of this past economic boom this last year, reverse the Biden tax cuts or tax raises, continue the President Trump tax cuts, and continue to propel our economy forward.
All right. I drove by the Newsmax headquarters down there in Boca a few weeks ago. I'm happy to move down there and join you. Mayor Scott Singer, thanks for joining us this morning. Have a great holiday.